All right. Good morning, and welcome to another session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray Trunde, and I'm the Market Trader. So I have the risk disclosure up here, so we're going to review that here for a minute. And basically, the gist of the risk disclosure is that I'm here purely on an education basis. I'm not here to provide investment advice on any security instrument or fund. um, we all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and that we should not be using anything other than risk capital that we can otherwise afford to lose without compromising our ability to our financial security here. Okay, so nothing contained herein is a solicitation to buy, sell options, futures, or forex. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All right, so now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and just take a peek of the remaining news. I know that we've had a fair amount of news today with CPI, and then we have, I believe, um, the inventory report for crude oil coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. So let's take a quick peek here and see what other news is in our remaining throughout the day here. So let's go ahead and open this up here. Let's take a look. So we had a CPI report. Okay, we had a CPI report that came in earlier this morning. We have in 25 minutes the crude oil report for those crude oil traders. You definitely want to be aware of that. Okay. Let's see what else, and then we have a bunch of remaining um, two-star events, except for some FOMC statements that are going to be taking place here at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so that's definitely something to be aware of. Okay, now the market has obviously reacted positively so far with the news here, right? Where it appears that we're up throughout on all equities. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we can learn further in the market. So we'll go ahead and stop share here. And let's see here. Stop here. All right. And share this. Go ahead and open up my charting platform. Get onto the right instrument here. We start with, all right. All right. So I have the gold chart here in front of me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut down some of these things. And with every market, we kind of start, well, not kind of, but we start with kind of a high level view. Right now, the market's open, has been open now for an hour and a half. So I'm just going to kind of take a look here on the daily, get a feel for what's going on here. Okay, we can move this over to the side here. We have, again, I think I've mentioned in the past, we remain in this kind of uh, you know, I don't know, I want to call it a holding pattern, but we remain in range, right? This is, kind of top to bottom. We have, I don't know, 2450 to the top and about, 2385 to the bottom. And we've been in this range here since April, right? It's April. We've been in this range up and down, not making any inroads in any one direction. Okay, that's kind of what. So bullish to neutral, I guess, over the past 3 months or so. All right. So let's take a look at the 4 hour chart. Okay, looking at the 4 hour chart again, we are I don't know, hovering around this 233-day EMA. Okay, looks like we are developing a little bit of structure here that could potentially indicate that maybe price would like to head higher. Okay, all right. So we have, price just above this EMA. We do have a developing bearish candle. So there was some reaction to price headed higher here. Some of this may have been related to the news event that we had here in the not so recent past here, CPI. Okay, so on the On the 4 hour, well, 4 hour looks a little bit, I would say, a little bit more bearish. Okay, I'm kind of looking at here from the left-hand side, try to get some context here, right? So we have a move down, followed by some consolidation, and then a break of structure here, right? We have a break of structure here. This is my structure, right? This here is my structure, and we broke below it. All right, now we're hovering below it. We came back into that same structure, and so far it's been rejected. Okay, we'll have to see what this next candle does here in the next, I don't know, couple hours here, and see how this particular candle closes. Okay, I'm going to turn this off here so this stuff gives me the intent on how this candle closes. If it does close above EMA here, that will indicate a somewhat a bullish event, and where chances are we'll retest the highs here. Okay, we do have a fair amount of news today, so the news could very well cause the markets to move in any direction. So we'll have to be aware of that. We have, as I mentioned before, we have the FOMC statement coming in at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so we'll need to be aware of that. Okay. All right. So yeah, 4 hour looking a bit bearish to me. It just looks to me for now looks a bit more of a retracement back through this area here. Okay, we have very impulsive move to the downside, and now this looks more like a retracement move back to some level before sellers have kind of started to step in again. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart. So 30-minute chart, we're going to start to look at some volume profiles. Let's stretch this out here a little bit just to get a full context of what we're seeing here. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Stretch this a bit. All right. Okay. So going to go ahead and open up my fixed range volume profile tool. All right. So we'll look over here, locate this over here, and right about there. Okay. Drag that across to the, actually, that's the wrong day here. Let's see. Try this again. So you can locate the 930 bar. Okay, this is the 930 bar. I'm going to drag that all the way across to the 1330 bar. All right. So yeah, so price certainly made a move as a result of the news to the upside. Okay, and now so this is obviously an important area up here at looks like 2360. Okay, so we had some reaction of the news based from the news. Okay, and now we've come down to an area where we would expect some support. Okay, kind of a retest of this EMA level that it crossed earlier this morning. Okay. So let's see, what else can we see? Let's go ahead and draw in our ADR zones. So we have it's already reached the ADR high. Okay, again, as a result of the news, right? We kind of reached our daily ranges for gold. All right, so let's go ahead and start calling some of these levels out here. So we have ADR high here at let's see what this level is here, 23. Let's call it 2353.7. 2353.7. We have ADR low here at 2314.2. Okay, and then we have settlement, which looks to be 2326. Let's spell this out right. 2326.6. All right, and let's go ahead and turn off ADR here, and we'll turn on ASR, that's average session range, and see where these levels live. Okay, so we had a little bit of reaction off of ASR here. So we have ASR low on those days. ASR low here at, let's call it 2342.4. And then we have ASR high here at, let's call it 2363. Let's move this down here. 2342.4, that's low. 4342.4. Okay, and then we have, that's ASR low. And then we have on the top end, we have ASR high, and we're going to call this 2363.7. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten this news event out of the way and we have identified our levels, what are some hypos for today's market? Well, first thing I need to open up here is our initial balance range. So we have a relatively wide initial balance range, again, as a result of the news event. So my initial inclination here is that it's going to be difficult, right? Difficult for the market to exceed initial balance, okay? Just because, I mean, I say difficult because of the width, where we're probably close to double the width of the initial balance range. So I would say that I would be inclined to be a buyer of the gold market if we get down to this 2332.8 level. All right, that also happens to be value area high. Okay, so that's one hypo. Now we are reacting off of IB high here. Okay, already. If price were to get back potentially up to this ASR level that we call on 2363.7, that could potentially be another area where I could think about, fading this current move. Okay. Right now, my view is that given this move that we had here to the upside, I don't believe that the bulls are just going to walk away from this. I suspect that they will step in again at some point here, and there's kind of nibbling as we head lower here. Okay. But my number one location for a buy would be down at this level. We could make a case for, and let's go ahead and draw our anchor VWAP here. I think I'm going to draw it here as kind of this extreme, as kind of our extreme here. So let's go ahead and locate anchor VWAP. Here we are, and then I'm going to locate this price down here and see where that puts us. Well, it puts us just below. Okay. Just below, and you can see here, got price just below this level right here. Okay, so with a price close above, right? Say we get maybe a 3-bar reversal here, right? We got 1 bar, another bar on the outside, and then we get maybe in the next 30 minutes or so a close. Okay, above this, then that could be the the ingredients for a potential move higher in the gold market. All right. So let's see, move this over here. Make sure it's visible. Okay, right here. All right. So those are some of the scenarios that I see in the gold market right now. I'm going to be kind of looking to see, and we're just going to kind of pop into the 15-minute chart here to see what kind of is developing here. But we are starting to see a little bit of slowdown. Okay, a little bit of slowdown around this ASR level that we've identified in gold. And now, if we continue, my ideal location for a participant alongside, as I already mentioned, 2332.8. That is my supreme location. Okay, or my first location. But if I do happen to get some sort of engulfing pattern here, that would indicate that to me that there is some momentum behind this move. Then I could be inclined for a move through the full rotation of initial balance back up to 2358, maybe all the way up to this ASR high here at 2363. Okay. All right, I think that's kind of what I have for the gold market. Let's go ahead and hop onto the crude oil market. Okay, so crude oil market is we do have crude oil. All right, here we are. So crude oil market. All right, so we do have EIA today. We have an inventory report here going to be happening here in about 9 minutes. Okay, so we certainly don't want to be in the market when that takes place. So we'll have to be cognizant of that. But as of late, looks like the market is trying to make newer highs or headed higher. Okay, the last kind of stand for the bears, I would say, is this 80 level. If price does get above this 80 level, then I don't see any reason why we can't get up to 84 and then potentially up to the new highs here at let's say 88, maybe beyond. Okay, so we are starting to, I guess, not quite break of structure here, but we're close. And what I mean by break of structure, I'm looking at my channeling tool here. Okay, if I do this little channel here, okay, so we can capturing all the bodies. Again, I'm not super concerned about the fact that we went below and then reversed here and not capturing it as part of my channel. I would say that this very much is a bearish channel, and that we are kind of beginning to look to test and maybe exceed and rally above it. Okay, we have a series of bullish candles here. Okay, on the daily, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, so same kind of deal. We're going to go ahead and turn off this here, and we see that we are up against the upper edge of this bearish channel. We are above settlement price. We are above EMA, all indicating that we could be in store for a continued move to the upside. Okay, all right. But before I embrace that, okay, move, I do want it to definitively break through this channel to the upside with some volume. Okay, we're seeing some increased volume here to the downside, right? A little bit of increase in volume, not to the downside, but to the upside. Okay, so it's not certainly out of the cards, but I can't rule out the fact that this area could also serve as an area for reversal. Okay, can't rule that out, right? I've seen that already a few times, right? Okay, this area has proven to be resistant. Okay, I can see that here, and if I go further to the left, I can see it again. So nothing to say that it can't reverse again off of this level. All right, so bearish channel, bullish kind of view of late on the 4-hour. So let's take a look at the 30-minute. All right, 30-minute chart. Again, same kind of view. We're above some of these things that I care about: VWAP and settlement price, and these EMA 233-day EMA. So my view remains, somewhat bullish of the market. So let's go ahead and see where how this relates to volume profile. Okay, let's turn some of these things off. Let's locate my fixed range volume profile tool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and locate the what is this? Okay, here, Tuesday. Yes. Okay, 9 o'clock bar across to the 4:30 bar. All right. So again, we continue to make a series of higher highs, not only from a price candle, we also from a volume profile structure perspective, we continue to make higher highs, right? Higher points of controls, right? Indicating that there is support for prices to head higher. Okay. All right. Let's open up our ADR levels here. See where we stand there. Well, we've already exceeded one of them on the top side, and we're well past ADR low here. Okay, so we're going to stretch this out here a bit again. She was kind of nice and visible to everyone. Okay, so here we are. We're up at the ADR highs. So let's start to call these levels out. So we have ADR high here at what is it? 79.20. 79.20. Right, we have ADR low at ADR low here at what is this? Let's call it 77.27. Okay. 77.27. All right. We got settlement at looks like 77.80 or 77.90. Yeah, it looks like it's 77.90. All right. So settlement is at 77.90. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn off ADR here for a second and open up ASR. Right. ASR here. AS. Right here. All right. And what do we have? Well, we have ASR here on the top side at pretty close to 79.86. Let's call it. Yeah, 79.86. Top side. 79.86. And on the bottom side, I get 78.31 is my ASR low. All right. Okay. 78.31. All right. Now that we've established our levels, what are some of the hypos? Okay. Well, it appears to be we're in a bit of a bullish move here. Just going to take a look at my initial balance. Okay. Initial balance is already completed, I believe. Let's see here. Initial balance. Turn that on. All right. We have our initial balance range, relatively tight range, and I guess a lot of it is a result of the fact that we're probably waiting for news here to take place. Okay, so a relatively tight initial balance range, indicating that there's probably some news here that folks are waiting on. Okay, so once the news comes out and they get a feel for what direction, or I guess what the inventory reports will tell them, my expectation is that we'll get a move in probably to the positive direction. Okay. Maybe come and test these, assuming that the reports are positive. Right now, everything's looking positive on the crude oil side. So probably my first hypo here would probably be looking for a break of this initial sustained auction to the upside above 79.31 for a move up to this 79.86 level that I've drawn here on my ASR, maybe as high as 79.20 on my ADR. That's kind of my first view. Now, if my view is a little bit bearish, well, I need to see if we can get some breaks of some structure here, and also maybe a rejection away from initial balance. Okay, maybe even a break to the downside before I start to embrace that, because view right now seems a bit bullish to me at the moment. Okay, so we'll see what the news has to say. Well, there goes the news, inventory report. Okay, that's kind of why we wait it. That's kind of why we wait for it, right? Look at how strong of a move that happened. If you were in any sort of long here, that would have probably wiped you out here pretty quickly. See here. So the inventory report so far has been met, I guess, in a negative way. All right. So either we have a surplus potentially of oil here, and that's causing prices to kind of to come down here. If I'm inclined here, and if I am, this ADR low or ASR low would be an excellent opportunity to potentially see price reverse. Okay, we are seeing price reverse off of IB at the moment, and could very well see this price in the next 30 minutes close below this initial balance range. So we'll just kind of put this particular instrument on the sidelines for a bit. Let next half hour or so, let it kind of settle down here before, and then establish its levels. You can kind of treat it as kind of like an open, and let it kind of settle in and see where price ends up, and then potentially react away from it. So right now, my go-to level here is this 78.30 level to put for potential long in the market. Okay. Now, if it does not make it down to that level, and we get maybe a reaction earlier, say off of this earlier ASR, then I would probably look to see maybe, since we did break below, if we maintained this below price below here at 79.03 for a bearish opportunity. Okay, so bearish above initial balance, bearish, yes, sorry, bearish below 79.03. Potentially looking for an opportunity to fade the market up to this initial balance range if we get down to this ASR level. All right. So that's kind of my view of crude oil. We'll just kind of, like I said before, we'll just kind of leave this market to the sidelines here a bit. Let it kind of let the market participants kind of work themselves out here a little bit and decide on exactly what's the definitive direction here. But certainly the news has been received not in a necessarily a positive way. It's caused the market participants to unload some of their holdings in these contracts. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and start to take a look at the equity markets. Okay, so we'll go NQ here. Okay, and equity markets have rallied, I guess, since the. So let's take a look at the daily, and I'm assuming the daily is going to tell us exactly what we're seeing. All right, and that is a continued rally, continued to new highs. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this off here. Okay, so daily very much higher, bullish. Okay. I'm just going to move this off to the side here a bit, if I can get a hold of it. Okay, not quite getting in the way. All right, so again, daily, not really anything to indicate that this market is going to fade anytime soon. Okay, CPI was a little bit on the negative side. A bit under forecast, which I think was received as a positive, maybe a slowing down of inflation. Okay, for our chart. Okay, so for our chart, here we are again, similar move. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here. All right, so nothing to indicate here. We have a developing bullish candle here on a continued move to the upside. All right, 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Take a look at the 30-minute chart here. So we'll go ahead and wind this out here a bit. So we were kind of dull here, maybe because we had a pretty dull market on Tuesday, or at least in the overnight here, and maybe probably as a result of the expectation of the news event here. Everybody was kind of interested to see what our CPI number was going to be. So that came in positive, or at least reacted as positive. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in our fixed range volume profile. Let's locate the 930 candle. Okay, there it is. Drag that across. 430 candle. All right, so we're well above value. All right, so very bullish. Okay, in the market here. Okay, let's kind of stretch this out here a bit. All right. Okay. All right. So let's locate our ADR tool, see where that puts us. I expect that we're probably close or exceeding, which indeed we are. All right. We're well above the average daily range, indicating that we could very well be in a very sustained auction to the upside. We're going to go ahead and open up initial balance, and the initial balance range is probably going to be equally as bullish. So let's locate that right here. Open that up. Okay, we're There it is. Okay, so equally as bullish initial balance range. We're probably, well, just about to close our range here. Let's make sure this is set to 1 hour. It is. Okay, and let's change this to 30. Okay. All right. So we have a solid initial balance range. I've yet to exceed it at the moment, but we are up on the IB highs. Okay. So what to make of this market? Well, if I'm bullish, all right, I'm not going to pay retail up here at these levels. I'm going to see if price could meander its way back down to something like say VWAP, right, down to this level, this blue line, right, for me to participate in a move higher. Okay. The other potential bullish move is wait for price to leave this initial balance range with some force. Okay, and then have me participate in a what do you call it, retracement back on the top of initial balance. Okay, so those are a couple of bullish scenarios. As far as the bearish scenarios, this is probably going to be a little bit harder to find here because one, we are at all-time highs here in the market, and it's going to be difficult for us to figure out where a reasonable reference level would be because we don't have anything to the left here. So one level right now that we have is this initial balance high. Okay, now if price does not exceed and this level, and we start to see some structure here indicating that it's having a little bit of, or better yet, if we get price to leave the area but unable to close above this initial balance high, then that could be the ingredients for maybe a pullback move, okay, into this area. All right, but that's, I guess I would probably if I'd be in the minority here with that kind of sentiment, given the action that we're seeing right now. So right now, I would say that I'm more inclined for a move back to VWAP, a break of initial balance, and have me kind of retest this. So I'm looking for some sort of retracements where I can manage my risk here a bit. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the ES market. Okay. All right. Well, actually, before I do that, let me go back. I don't think I called out. No, I did not. Let's call out these ADR and ADR low levels here, even though we have exceeded them. They could potentially serve as a reference level in the future. So we'll say ADR high here is 19,369. Oops. I don't want to change the interval to 19,369. So my ADR high is 19,369. My ADR low is 19,125. 125. My settlement price is 19,342. 19,342. There's that two? No, 242. 3 or 2? Looks like 3 to me. Yeah, 342. 19,342.25. 342.25. Okay. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and open up ASR. Okay, ASR. And they're coming in at right around the same level here. So I'm going to turn off ADR here so not to confuse myself. Yeah, it looks like ASR we've already exceeded ASR to the upside. So 19,506. 19,506 or 508. Let's call it 508. 19,508 because the ASR high. and then ASR low. Let's call it 19,300. 19,300. Okay, it's a little bit shy of that, but just for reference purposes, I think that's perfectly reasonable levels to consider here. Okay, so we've already gone through the scenarios here. I'm not going to go through that. I just wanted to capture the ADR high, ADR low settlement prices here. Okay, let's go ahead and open up ES. Okay, ES, and let's just kind of quickly, jump into the daily again, which I know what to expect here. Really strong impulsive move to the upside. Okay, in an otherwise bullish move. Okay, all right. Come on. All right. Let's see here. All right, here. So yeah, daily very much bullish. 4 hour, I would expect to see the same bullish. Okay, so we're going to spend most of our attention here on the 30-minute chart here. Just give us some levels, orient ourselves a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on, first of all, our fixed range volume profile here. We're going to go move into the 30-minute chart. Okay. Okay, we're already at the ASR edge. Okay, just going to leave that there for now. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get my chart to behave here a bit. All right, so let's go ahead and open up initial balance. Open that up. Okay, so here's our initial balance range. The top end of initial balance also has some confluence with the ASR. All right, we're going to do our fixed range volume profile, which should be no surprise here, but we're going to go ahead and draw it anyway. We're going to go back to Tuesday. Okay, here we are. Okay, Tuesday. Escape here. Tuesday, we're going to locate there it is. I'm going to drag that across to this time here. Okay, so no surprise that we're above value. Bulls very much in control of this market. Okay, so this could be, I'm just going to extend this line, okay, even though we're well past it. But I would expect that this line here could be supportive in the future, all right, if price were to come down to it, all right. So what are some of my levels here? So let's open up ADR. Okay, so we have ADR high here, ADR high here at, let's call it 54.11. Okay, we have ADR low at, let's turn, we got both these levels on right now, so let's turn that off. ADR low here is right at EMA, and we'll call it 53.58. 53.58. We got settlement price here at 53.84. Settlement at 53.84. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and open up ASR here. So ASR, we're going to turn off ADR. Okay, so ASR has already, we're at that level right now. ASR was 53. Looks like it's pretty much the same as our IB high, so I'm just going to call it that. Okay, so 53, actually 54, 53. Okay, 54, 53, and 25, let's call it. All right, and then ASR low here at 50, let's call it 5406. 5406.25. All right. So similar view. Again, this ASR IB high could be a level where the market could fade from. All right. A bit. All right. If I'm a buyer of the market, then I'm going to look at this ASR low level, 5406. I'm also going to look at this VWAP at 54.28, which is also IB low, okay, for opportunities to participate in this move to the upside. All right, so that's one. We had one bearish scenario, one bullish scenario. Certainly, if we got a little bit further down, maybe as low as It's hard to imagine that we'd get down that far, but if we get down to this level, that would be value area high from yesterday, okay, at 53.46, actually 53.66. That would be, significant move here, but that I would expect that would be supportive. And then there's some confluence here with the EMA line. Okay. All right. Let's close out this session with one last view of the market here, and that's going to be the YM. Okay, and the YM. So we're going to go ahead and just quickly look at the daily. If I recall from our past session, I think, yeah, I was thinking that Dow was going to be a little bit more bearish. I think given the news that looks like it broke some sort of structure here to potential structure here to the upside here. This could be significant here. I'm just going to turn this off here for a minute. All right. So yeah, we were kind of thinking that maybe we had reached a demand level here. We were inside this swing to the downside. That maybe there was a possibility that price could continue. All right. We've seen that that's not the case. CPI came in, I guess, better than expected, and that was met very well with the market. And now the market has kind of continued its rally to the upside. So this candle has yet to complete here. So would like to see this candle close above this structure, and that could potentially lead to another swing higher here in the Dow over the next coming days. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing now. Okay, for our chart, okay, telling us similar kinds of things. I got to turn off initial balance here for a second. We're starting to creep above, and we've already confirmed above this EMA level. All right, which again, as long as price stays above it, then that bodes well for the bulls. All right. This is my line here. I'm not even try to retrieve that. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like we're starting to break some structure to the upside for bullish price action in the Dow. All right, looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, we got a little bit of a retracement since the news event here, and it's coming down, and it's kind of hovering around the level that would be of interest. Okay, these levels down here, a lot of confluence down here would make for a very nice long opportunity in the Dow. Let's go ahead and locate our opening candle for fixed range profile. So let's do this. Let's locate the candle. There it is. Drag that across to this candle here. And we have our, should be no surprise here that we're above value, okay, as a result of the CPI news. Initial balance range is still, I believe, intact. Okay, we kind of looks like we appear to be challenging the bottom end of this channel. All right, so we made a significant push up. Now we've gotten a little bit of a retracement down. Now the question is this going to give us an opportunity to reverse long at IB edge, or maybe give us a little peak below and kind of create a failed auction and then go higher? Or are we going to continue to the downside and go to these areas of confluence, right, at EMA and this, I think, older anchored VWAP that I have drawn here from maybe a higher time frame, or maybe down to settlement price? These are all kind of buyer rich, I would say, levels, okay, to support some price action reversal here to the top side, okay, for a move reversal. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and close out here with some levels. So we're going to call out these levels. All right, so we have ADR high here. We're going to go, we've already exceeded, and we're back to retest it. And then we have, we'll leave that there for now. Let's see what those levels are. We have 38,981 on the top side. We have ADR low is at, what is that? 38,578. 38,578. So this is our ADR high. ADR, which ADR high is 38,969, 38,969. Okay, we've already captured the ADR low, 38,578. Settlement is 38. Settlement is 38,794. All right, we're going to turn off ADR here for a second, and we're going to turn on ASR, sorry. So ASR here, we're right at the edge of ASR at the moment, challenging a potential break below here. So ASR to the downside is 39,352. Is that 39 or 38? That's 38. So 38,986. 38,986. Okay. And then to the top side, we have 39,347. 39,347. All right. So as far as hypos go, well, we're at an interesting level right now, okay, to potentially support a long, right? Assuming that we can get some price structure to support it, right? We're at the ASR low, right? We need to see some price structure on the 15-minute, maybe to indicate that that is in the cards. Otherwise, price looks like it wants to continue, maybe retest the conviction of some of these players that we had earlier, right around settlement or this anchored VWAP that I have drawn here, right? This area right here would be an area rich for some buyers. Okay. So yeah, those are some buying opportunities. Now, if we do get, a push outside, we could take a bearish trade off of IB low. I just don't like so much the targets, because the targets, we are coming into some areas where we've had some heavy volume of traders that eventually went long. Eventually, we took the market long. Okay, so while that's a possibility, I'm not really keen on the risk reward on that aspect. I would probably prefer something where we're, potentially, testing. See if we can get a hold of this here. I would be more inclined of selling these levels, IB highs, maybe a break and failure, or as high as ASR. So right now, the sellers, for me, feels like I'm paying a little bit of retail here. I need a little bit of a pullback higher, up to 39,187, or as high as this ASR high here at 39,347. Okay. All right. Well, that pretty much concludes my kind of view here of the markets in flight. We've kind of reviewed some hypos here across all markets, gold, crude oil, and most recently the equities. So I would encourage everyone to trade well, trade safe, be cognizant of the fact that we have some FOMC minutes coming out, or some FOMC news coming out here at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So you want to be well aware of that. And other than that, I wish everyone trade well, trade safe, trade like a market pro, be a market trader. All right. Until next time.